Jennifer Walters, or better known as the She-Hulk, has always been one of my favorite comic book characters. It's actually my favorite female character overall. But the reasoning behind the character's creation is actually quite messy. Because of the success of the Incredible Hulk TV show, which was a show that was owned by Universal Studios. Therefore, if a character was created on the show, then Marvel wouldn't be allowed to include them in their comics, without some sort of deal which would grant Universal royalties to that character's appearance. With that in mind, the $6 billion Man was another show around this time, which had been given a spin-off called Bionic Woman, which was very successful. And there were now rumors that the Incredible Hulk show wanted to jump in on this train of spin-offs that were pretty popular around this time. The rumor was that they're going to introduce a character named She-Hulk as a romantic interest for David. By the way, if you're confused, Hulk on the TV show is named David, not Bruce, because according to the showrunners, Bruce was the quote-unquote gay name, which is funny to think about due to the fact that Batman's name is also Bruce. Anyways, they were planning to make a spin-off of this character named She-Hulk, who was going to be a love interest for the Hulk. And after seeing how they ended up throwing Thor, Daredevil, and Kingpin, the likeliness of them actually doing this with She-Hulk became more plausible. Lee quickly introduced the She-Hulk into Marvel Comics, in the Savage She-Hulk issue 1 in 1980, before the Incredible Hulk had a chance to introduce theirs, which would be eventually scrapped. They would also make She-Hulk Bruce's cousin rather than a love interest, which I think is a better idea, as it established a stronger connection between the two rather than bitter exes. What stood out to me here is how comic series starring a new character usually don't happen. Instead, characters are usually introduced in one-off stories, team-up stories, or backup issues, and if they're popular enough, they'll be given their own book. With only a few exceptions, especially at Marvel, other than She-Hulk, the only other characters I could find were Hulk, Sentry, the Fantastic Four as a group, the X-Men as a group, Jessica Jones, and Captain America. If there's any others, leave them down below, but I couldn't find anyone else other than Jennifer Walters. Spider-Man, Captain Marvel, Kamal Khan, Moon Knight, Ant-Man, Iron Man, Spider-Woman, etc. are all spin-off characters. But She-Hulk was brought into her own comic, a comic that ended the exact year the Incredible Hulk show ended. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. What happened Marvel didn't expect. She-Hulk became popular, so they gave her another solo series, which lasted far longer, which lasted from 1989 to 1994, with her other solo series having ended in 1983. In between these two series, She-Hulk would have become a staple member of the Avengers, where she had a flirtation with Star Fox, which ended interestingly, to say the least, but they still made her a member of the Avengers, which was a pretty big deal, and replaced the Thing on the Fantastic Four after Secret Wars. 2022, She-Hulk has had the total of 6 solo series, which is almost as many as her cousins. She had one in 1980 to 1983, she had another in 1989 to 1994, and another in 2004 to 2005, and then another in 2005 to 2009, and then 2014 to 2015, and most recently 2022 to, well, now. And in almost every series, I would say, is been really well written. She comes across as very comedic and yet very likable. She comes across as being a very different character than Bruce Banner. As Bruce Banner and Hulk are at war with each other, She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters are, in a way, the same person, but yet different at the same time. Jennifer loves being She-Hulk. It gives her more confidence, but it still has this interesting layer of the idea that Jennifer feels like she's kind of abandoning herself by just being She-Hulk all the time. And it's a really interesting concept that I think speaks to a lot of people about self-image. But maybe that's just my personal opinion on it. She-Hulk is a character I've always really liked, and I can't wait to see more of her. And speaking of that, it's now set to be given a Disney Plus show that will drop on August 15th, which will face villains such as Titania, Abomination, and the most scary of them all, the Frogman. And all of this was done because of a copyright rumor back in the day. And I'm really happy she exists. If she was introduced on the Hulk show first, it could be very possible we'd never see her outside of it. Just look at Red Skull's daughter from that crappy Captain America movie from like the 80s or 90s. I don't know when it actually came out, but I know it came out before the MCU, long before the MCU. So what do you think of She-Hulk? Do you agree with my opinion that she's more than just being just a female Hulk? Or do you think she's boring? So you know that a lot of people dislike her character. I've seen comment sections of the She-Hulk trailer. Personally, I don't understand the people who don't like She-Hulk, but I not going to try to be like, how dare you and stuff like that. Because that's your opinion. You're right, and you have the rights to have that opinion. Personally, I really like She-Hulk. Leave your opinions down below. If you like her, if you hate her, if you just don't even care about her. Like always, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.